Make sure you guys are up and running. Make sure everything looks right. Throw that there. All right. I think we are ready to go. So, sure people are starting to roll on in. For anyone that's watching, I think I'm going to be doing, I try to stream a couple days a week, and I like to stream Sunday nights. Sunday night's a good night to stream, I feel like, especially, before the stock market opens tomorrow. And so, yeah. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Nice break. Hope it was relaxing. Mine was. I had a nice Thanksgiving. Spent a lot of time with friends and family. And, yeah. Today I did a lot of outdoor work. Got a lot of the yard work done. Leaves and the gardens and stuff. Got all that stuff squared away for the year. So, ready for the snow. Although it's been quite warm. It finally, I live in the Northeast, so it finally got cold, like this week. It's been quite warm for a while now. So there's still leaves changing and falling, and so I'll probably have to do a second cleanup in the yard. But we got a bunch of work done today, so yeah, so I thought I would jump on, do a little Sunday night recap. For anyone who is annoyed by my microphone, I do have a Blue Yeti on the way. I think it's going to be here on Tuesday, so hopefully by time I make a video on my trades for the month end, I'll have a nice new crisp mic. So that should be nice. Hopefully I don't have any issues setting it up and getting it to work. It should be a pretty straightforward microphone to set up. But yeah, I found one on Amazon for like $80, I think. Free shipping. It was like 30% off some Black Friday sale or something. So I think I got a decent deal. So, and I thought I would put some money into the quality of my content. After having a month like this, up almost pretty much a little over $4,000 on the month. So hopefully this trade stays where it is for the next 4 trading sessions. I will be closing this trade on November 30th, end of day. So we're up 300% currently on the button. Not bad. Hey Sean, yeah, I know my mic. You guys can hear me fine. I know my mic is like good, but I feel like it's a little too close to my face. I have a headset mic that I'm using, and I don't like hearing it when I edit videos, and I just want to get a nicer sounding mic. So yeah, we're looking good on this trade. So we got 19 days left on this option, but we're closing it out in 4 days. So I had a couple questions back and forth in the comment sections or on other videos and stuff I made. People kind of confused about like, hey, is it 30 days or 45 days? So you got to be careful with entering, like if this trade were if this option, this contract that I entered, if it were like a 5DT, if it were this one, like I'd be killed on theta right now. Like the theta decay would be too much. And you can see the theta here. I'm only losing $6 on this contract per day. Negative 0.06 theta on this contract. So $6 per day, I could take that when it's a $4,000 profit position. It's like peanuts. But if you come here, you could see the theta. What strike was I on? The 105s. The 105s. It's $8. But that, we got to remember, these options are a little bit cheaper. So it was at $17.50 at 105, and this is 18, so $100 difference. So, but I think IV implied volatility went up. I forgot what the IV was when I first entered this trade on AMD. I should probably note that in my videos going forward, because IV can play a big factor, implied volatility. Because I'm pretty sure implied volatility was lower when I entered this trade. I could probably look back on my video when I entered, but it's at 42, and I think IV went up. So when if let's say I buy an options contract and IV is like 30%, and then over the next 30 days it went up to 42%, I make more money when IV goes up, right? So that's why you want to be an options buyer with a little bit lower IV, because it gives you a little bit of edge. So yeah. Hey Pokey, you gonna try J&J? Let's check out J&J. I think I looked at that one. December's a great, typically is a good month for a lot of the pharmaceuticals and the healthcare stocks. So, I'm going to be entering Eli Lilly, but J&J, I'm sure it's got similar seasonality. Let me look at it. I think UNH, United Healthcare, that's another one. Yeah, it looks good. I don't really put too much emphasis on the average gain, because this can be skewed by 1 year, like a big gain or a big loss on 1 year. But it does go up 70% of the time in December. But let me just check so like the IV on J&J is really, really good. Nice cheap contracts too. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm looking at the wrong. So I'm going to be entering on a 50 DTE. So like right now, so like J&J, for example, is 54 DTE right now. By the time we get to Thursday, it will be at 50 DTE. So I'm going to be going in on a 50 DTE for Eli Lilly. Yeah, nice cheap contracts. A little under $300. Where are we on the Delta? 43, yeah. The theta's a little aggressive on it, but I think that IV, yeah, 17%, nice. Alright. Not a bad option. Just back test it if you're going to put money into it. Not financial advice. But, yeah, you may be able to make some money off of this. Let me check Eli Lilly. Yes, LLY has same thing, 54 DT. I will be entering on the 50 DT by time we get there on Thursday, and then implied volatility is slightly higher. And let's see, I'll probably this is a tough one. Should I go with the 49 delta or the 42 delta? I mean, this is going to change as time goes on over the next 4 days. LLY is just peeking its head above 600, just above that psychological level, which could be good news by the time I get in, because it may set up a clean runway for higher prices. But I like to buy into discount. I'm not afraid to buy into the blood. I like buying when it's selling. You get that mean reversion effect. MDB. I think someone else recommended that one, or brought that one up. Is it an ETF? What is MDB? Sounds familiar. Is this an over the counter? Is this OTC? Or is this crypto? I don't know what MDB is. I just see Berlin Stock Exchange. Let me know what kind of asset that is. I could try to take a look at it, but I don't know. As of now, I don't know what it is. All right. Back to AMD. So like I said, I think I mentioned in my last live stream, I'll probably post a video on Tuesday. I was gonna do a video on IV, but I'll probably just do one video explaining my Eli Lilly trade, so everyone's got a heads up, and then I'll do another video on the 30th, following up my closure of the trade and my new trade. So, yeah. MongoDB's AI. This one? Oh, why didn't it pop up? MDB. Did I type it in wrong? MDB? Oh, I typed it in wrong. Okay, my dyslexia. Yeah, I think I looked at this one. It's a Nasdaq. How many? What's the market cap? 30 billion. All right, so it's a smaller cap. Hopefully the IV ain't too high. It's got 57% IV. So this is a high IV stock. So you gotta be careful with this one. Big contract sizes too. Very big. Yeah, so like the only way I can give you a definitive answer if this is good or not is backtesting it. That's the thing with options. Even if the data looks good from the surface, you have to dig in deeper. I think that's where a lot of people get hurt with options. They don't realize that, between theta and picking the correct delta and knowing how IV works and knowing when IV is historically high. Like I can look at MDB right now and I could tell you right now, historically, looking at this on a weekly chart, IV sitting around 65. What was it saying on here? Hold on, let me look at this one. 55. It's saying 65. Maybe if I go to a lower time frame. I don't know, it's saying maybe it didn't update. I don't know why it's saying 65 on here. But the implied volatility is high. So like if I wanted to be an options buyer, I'd be wanting to buy like down here. So probably for the month of October or November. Even October was pretty good, but November would have been good. Maybe not. IV was still high. Yeah, this is a tough one. That's why you got to backtest these things and really know if it's working historically. Yeah, I from looking at it at the surface, it looks risky. If it did one but like again, this is a smaller cap stock, so like a stock like this can go up. Like you would need this to go up a lot in 1 month for it to make money on an option. Like you would need like a month like this. You need like a 40% month, maybe even like a 22% month. But you need a strong month for this to work. The higher the IV, the bigger the move the market is expecting. That's really what IV is. Implied volatility is the market pricing in future moves. That's all it is. So, if the market's expecting a big move to the upside or downside, the contracts are going to be more expensive. There's no such thing as a free lunch in the stock market. It's very efficient, and you really have to be right. Like you have to be 100% right to make money in the stock market. So yeah, but I'm not saying it's a bad trade. It could be a good trade, but GDX. Let's see. So here's the thing with ETFs, and I kind of like had an epiphany. I always have epiphanies, but like I kind of like thought about this on my own time, and I was like, the problem with ETFs, and ETFs are good. Like if you know how to trade them and like you have luck with them, like go for them. But GDX. This is a gold miners ETF. If any of you don't know, you're entering into a diversified investment. So when you do that, you're kind of losing that. Like if you look at the S&P 500 and then you look at Apple stock massively outperforms the S&P 500, like on a good year too. And the reason, but you have less drawdown in the S&P 500 because you're more diversified. So it's like slow and steady, or you want to like put on risk and like choose the stocks that go up and down a lot, right? You need some volatility. Volatility is a trader's best friend. And GDX, I'm not saying it can't be volatile, but it's less volatile than other stocks. So like you may be entering a trade. The good thing is the contracts are cheap on this, but you may enter a trade on this and you kind of just watch it like burn to theta all month because it doesn't move that much. Like let's look at GDX on a monthly. And I know gold's been doing really well recently, but like yeah, it's like really you would be better off if you wanted to like go with gold, you can do futures options. And you get, I think those are 1256 tax advantage as well. So you actually pay less in taxes. I think futures commodities you don't have to worry about paying the higher tax. But you would probably be better off going with futures options on, was it GL, I think, rather than looking at GDX. Because GDX, look at it, like GDX is underperforming gold, the underlying asset. I mean, gold miners stocks are risky, so. But let's see. Yeah, and the IV's kind of for a stock that for an ETF that moves like this, IV's pretty high. This would probably be a better stock to sell options on. But hey, you never know. Like, let's see. So like in October, GDX went up 4%, and what did gold do? Gold went up 7%. And that 7% for gold is a lot. Like that's a pretty big move. But if you look at GDX going back, like it's had much bigger moves before. The problem is with GDX, I'm pretty sure they charge a fee to, so you also gotta remember you're kind of getting like maybe your options aren't paying the fees towards the people who own this ETF or mutual fund, ETF. But like they take their slice. They're kind of stealing money from you from management fees. So a credit spread wouldn't be a bad idea. A credit spread would not be a bad idea. Like so like if I wanted to go directional with this, I would definitely go with a credit spread. So like I'd buy, if you're bullish, let's say, I'd buy put credit spread. Buy put credit spread and hope it goes up. And the good news is, I mean, I don't know how big your account is, but if you got assigned on GDX, it's $29 per share. So you'd be just paying if you had to buy the contracts or buy the stocks, the underlying, you'd only have to spend a little under 3,000. So, but again, so you're like, and that's the other thing. Like, you want higher, good. It's good IV. Let's see. This would be what, 1 point spread? Yeah, you'd have to go closer. You'd probably want to stick with like a 32 delta. That's kind of the sweet spot. You typically want to get about 1/3 on your credit spread on your risk. So, but I would definitely look into, I think it's /GL or I think it's gold. Let's see if it pops up here. Nope. I thought it was /GL. I know /CL is oil, and then was it GLE? No, I don't know. I had it up last stream. I think I have it in my recents. Here we go. Gold, gold, gold. GC, that's it. Thank you. Yep. Yeah. Oh, much better. Yeah, look at the liquidity. Let's see. Yeah, much better. Futures are nice. Futures are always nice because they're usually liquid, especially with a commodity like gold. So, yeah, I would be much more comfortable going with. And look at the implied volatility; it's so much lower. Like we can back. I guess we could back test just for funds. Let's take like October for example. Let's do October. I've never done this before, so it may not work, but kind of going out on a limb here. October, we'll go to September 29th. The last 5 minutes, 29th. For December, would you choose Eli? Yes. Yes, Ro. So I'm going to be going with LLY. And I'll be posting a video in like a day or two, letting everyone know. So as per, okay, so these, you gotta remember, these are December 23rd contracts, so I'd probably go with whatever I can get closest to. Anything above 45 DTE, although I haven't really messed with futures options that much, so I don't know what it's like, but kind of just going out on a limb here. How big of a move was it? So you opened at 1848 and went and closed at what? 19. Okay, so but this is a really good month. So let's say we went with this. Yeah, it's an expensive trade because you're buying you're buying a futures. Futures are usually big. Okay. Fast forward and see how much money it prints. Just don't know if the theta is going to be a problem. It's still buffering. Nice. 352%. Holy. Okay. So this would have been a great trade. Yeah, so that's the power of a futures contract right there. So much better than GDX. Much better. So yeah, if you really want to stick with gold, I would look at futures options or futures, but you got to be careful with futures too. You need a lot of margin for futures. But that would have been a really nice trade for October. And I think October typically does well for gold, if I'm not mistaken. Does this... what would be... Does it take GC? Let me say gold futures. I guess we can use a continuous contract. That's good enough. Okay. So October is 50-50. But that's a good gain. And I mean, maybe I have to look at here's the thing. I haven't looked into futures options that much, but just knowing a 352% gain in 1 month off of a 7% move on gold is really good. That's a really good risk to reward. So maybe I'll have to look into futures options because there's a lot of opportunity, even with oil too. This spike down is crazy. Imagine you had a put option on this. Oh boy, you would have like owned the market. No, I'm just joking. Yeah. I have to look into futures options because like commodities. I never really touched commodities that much. That's like the one area that I've never really traded. I've done I've done futures on like the NQs and ES. I've messed around with them, but I've never messed with commodities. So that's like the final frontier for me. I've done crypto. I've done like everything. crypto options, zero DTE, selling options. I mean, I've done it. And then professionally, I deal with swaps and stuff too, like even bigger stuff. But I've never really touched commodities. I understand them, and the great thing about commodities are they have even more seasonal tendencies than equities. Because commodities are like the underlying asset for certain times of the year. Like gold has more demand at certain times of the year, and oil has more demand at certain times of the year. So great opportunities here. So, but yeah, if I were gonna touch gold, I'd probably go with a gold futures contract. Not financial advice, by the way. So, yeah, they are expensive. They are expensive. So, this trade would have been right. Like if this theoretical trade we took, $2,670. That would have been your risk. So, you definitely want a nice size account to float this trade for sure. All right, back to the regular account. But hey, we got 300% in real life on AMD. Not bad. Or I did. I really hope LLY does well next month. I haven't really. Well, the first trade I done was Apple. That trade worked out good, or didn't work out good. And this trade for AMD did really good. So I'm kind of waiting for that one bad month to come along. I wonder how many people are gonna curse me and run off. But trading's a part. Losing's part of trading. So if you can't stomach a loss, then I suggest trying a different strategy, or not trade at all, because this whole trading is really how long can you stomach the losses, and how committed are you to your strategy and back testing. And it's really just like you have to keep fighting. It's not easy. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it. So let's take a look at the rest of the market here. Hey, Monkey. Hey, man. Hope you're enjoying it. So the news headlines, I think things are going to get really bullish. So I'm just looking at SPY here. I'm just looking at the most simple market ETF, the most well-known ETF out there. What's our current drawdown? I'm going to put on the magnet with a measuring tool. Currently, right now, we are 2.5% from all-time highs. I mean, we're close. We're really close right now. So, I mean, once this thing breaks out, what has it got? 2.6%. I mean, we could be literally one day away from breaking out. And usually, once you get into price discovery, the all-time highs, you rip. I mean, you can look back in history. I'm not saying that we can't, do this where we go up and then come back down. Did my stream stop? Oh, sorry about that. Hope my connection's still up. I got a notification that my connection disconnected, but I'm back up. From a chart perspective, Eli Lilly is coiling. Yeah, so let's look at Eli Lilly on a monthly. I like to start with the monthly and work my way down. So, yeah, we had some hesitation here in price. Top wick. Looks like we're going to get a nice solid green close for November if things pan out over the next 4 days. So that's a good sign. Eli Lilly doesn't have earnings for another 3 months, so earnings aren't going to be a risk for this trade. But All right, let's look at a weekly. Once you start going below the weekly and the daily, you know, you're kind of just like looking at random price action. But not much of a chartist or pattern believer, but we are kind of. This would technically be a rising wedge, but you know, I don't really take much. I don't put too much emphasis on chart patterns. I'm more of a data guy, but we are watching this right here. So 75%. So data says, yeah, LOY is good for December. Tends to be good. So let's look at let me just look at the daily on this. Let's see how far we got to go. So all-time highs, 4%. I mean, even a 4% gain on the underlying would, I think that would be profitable for LLY. That's if IV isn't an issue. Doesn't take much of a move to make money on these contracts for LLY. That's the benefit of going with the lower IV stuff. You just make so much money off of the smaller moves. But yeah, this definitely looks like it's coiling up. We could put up some of the meme indicators, the stuff that doesn't work but everyone watches. What would it be? Oh, the MACD, it's turning up the momentum. Listen, if you like the MACD, by all means use it, but I don't like it. I've lost a lot of money trying to use this. But it is showing positive momentum after a downside move or sideways move. So let's check the RSI, another indicator that works but doesn't work. Is that a divergence? No divergence. No divergence. Yeah, just kind of mid-range, staying above the 50. Again, indicators and stuff, I don't really care. I do like the 9 EMA on the daily because it tends to, once a price is in trend, like going up, we tend to hold the 9 EMA as support. But again, that could be broken like a hot knife through butter at any second. So you can see like the price like kind of hit up here, came back down, and then the 9 EMA was just kind of, we're wicking around the 9 EMA, and then finally came through it. But now we're coming back above it, so that's a good sign. It's a good sign. Is volume high? Volume's tapering off. Volume, it's again, volume's another one that could be hit or miss. You know, if you get a big spike in volume, that could signal a top or a bottom, but sometimes it doesn't. So again, volume can be subjective, just like any other indicator. So you're much better off just going with data and back testing to find profitable trades rather than focusing on the charts. It's all in here. It's all in price and time. So if you guys could just hit the like button, get those likes pumped up, I'd really appreciate it. For anyone who joined in the past, few minutes or so, I am getting a new microphone. So if my microphone annoys you, because it annoys me, I hate hearing my voice to begin with. But like my microphone is way too close to my mouth. But unfortunately, I only have a headset with a microphone. But I have a nice brand new Blue Yeti coming in the mail. So I should have that by like Monday or Tuesday of this week. Tomorrow, we'll see. Hopefully I can get it in time before I make my final couple videos for the month, and then yeah. All right. What else are we looking at? Let's look at the Qs. All right, so the Qs, again, very close. I think this month, it's crazy. I think November took a lot of people by surprise. It was funny, like when I entered my AMD trade, people were bearish. Like people were like, oh, the markets are going down, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, AMD earnings came out and went up. We went up 9% in one day right after earnings for AMD right here. I doubled my money in like literally within 24 hours of entering my position. Even less. I think it was like 12 hours. And yeah. No, I think it was like 24 hours. But yeah, ever since this big green candle took everyone by surprise on AMD, the rest of the market follows suit. So yeah. Kind of funny how that works. That's why like you can't follow the news channels or even you can't even follow like traders on fake traders on YouTube, but like you got to be careful trying to follow like what other people are saying or thinking because they're just as clueless as you are. And I even me, like I lose trades. I'm not saying I have the holy grail trading strategy. I lose money too. I just don't risk enough and stay in the game for a long period of time. So, like to, I always put on a trade and I know I'm gonna lose eventually. So, always put on a trade and make sure you can live another day. So, a lot of people that blow up in the stock market, even like hedge funds and stuff, big investors. If you ask them, hey, how'd you fail? What happened? It's like too much risk. I put on too much of a size, or I focus too much of my money into one asset class. That's how it happens. It's all about risk management. You can have the best strategy in the world. You can have a strategy that is 99% win rate. But if you don't have your risk set properly, that's it. So yeah. Let me know if you guys have any other symbols you want me to look at. I'll be glad to take a look. This is one stock I've been looking at, Birkenstock. Make shoes, but I've been watching them since their IPO. I kind of wish I bought it like a couple days after their IPO down here, but they've been slowly but surely going up. And the PE is a little high for me though, especially for this kind of company. But just one of those like little trades that not even a trade, something I would buy and just hold for a very long time. So yeah. But I think like NVDA, Google, any of these except maybe even LLY, a lot of the big names, over the next 20 years. All these companies are going to be worth so much more. They should be, but we'll see. NVIDIA, let's see. So NVIDIA took a spill after its earnings, which is funny because AMD is doing the exact opposite. But I think this sell-off is probably going to stop. I think NVIDIA does okay for November or for December, so let's see. Oh, maybe not. Hold up. So maybe we could be looking at a further sell-off here. And 65, he may be okay. It's kind of a 50-50. Hey Jason, what's up, man? Yeah, NVIDIA. I think it's just one of those stocks where if you buy it for the long term, it's fine. But as far as trading it, I ain't touching it right now. The money. If you were gonna make money on Nvidia, you were buying down here, right? Because like, if you were gonna make money on Nvidia, you were buying this right here. 80% of the Novembers over the past 20 years, Nvidia goes up. And look, another November has pretty much passed. Nvidia went up, so trade's kind of gone now. Nvidia's probably settling down for the rest of the month, maybe for the rest of the year. And Probably won't hear much about it. It will probably trade sideways or underneath its all-time high until like February. Even like, I mean, it could go up in December. It could go up, but the odds aren't as good as, let's say, November or February. Once I see a stock go below like 70%, I kind of, I try to look elsewhere because there's always a better opportunity somewhere else. So it's like, as a trader, I mean, it's as an investor, it's okay to marry a stock, especially if it's a good company that a lot of people know about. Um, but as a trader, you really can't marry a stock or marry, a certain asset. Like, you got to be willing to, be dynamic with what you're trading. Um, it. I think like a lot of people that like day trade like SPY every single day on options or QQQ, you know, those stocks, yeah, they do good at certain times of the month, but like there's no point in day trading those like the Qs during the summer because the summer volatility is so low, like you're just losing money. And a lot of people lose money during the summer day trading. It's funny, I see traders on YouTube like posting like on their community. Like the algorithms feed me other traders and other YouTubers out there. Fake or real, I don't know, but uh, it's funny. You'll see like August, September, and maybe October, red month, red month, red month, and then like this month, all the traders like for November, they're saying, "Ah, look at all this money I'm making." Like, well, it's like, yeah, duh, you're making money because the markets are flying. They always fly at this time of the year. So you got to know when to when to play your hands aggressively and when to kind of take your foot off the pedal and just sit back and be patient. Yeah, I think, was it Hive? What was it? Huh, these things just got beaten down. I don't even know what their shares. I don't even know what their float is. I guarantee you they issue a lot of stock. But Bitcoin has been doing good. Been doing really good recently. I follow some crypto. I'm not into it as much anymore, but maybe I'll scoop up some Bitcoin. Um, I'll I'll scoop it up when it's up here. I'll scoop it up at 70,000. How about that? But yeah, I made plenty of money off of crypto. I was buying crypto during college, back in like 2018. I think I started buying. I made a little bit of money out up here, and then the market started going down, and then, well, no joke, I was buying like back here when Bitcoin was at like 3,000. Yeah, Marathon. That's the big one, right? I think that's like one of the biggest in the U.S. Right? This is a U.S. based company. Let me see. Yeah, Las Vegas. Okay. Um, yeah, it's done good. It's going up. I mean, like it's gonna go up if Bitcoin goes up. I mean, look at that. It's been. Wow. Is this even a profitable company? Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see Marathon on a seasonality just for fun. I don't even know the seasonality of Bitcoin. July? It seems like July is. Can I put Bitcoin in here? Let's see. Here we go. February. February is a big month for Bitcoin. October. Is Bitcoin still following its seasonality? Yeah, look at that. Bitcoin went up 28% in October. And it did there. Yep. Pretty interesting. Yeah, so like, yeah, you can make a lot of money with Marathon. I'm sure you can. Um, Very risky though. It's a new space. Even though Bitcoin and crypto's been around for like what, over 10 years, it's still new. That's pretty young for the stock market. I remember like these stocks like AMD, NVDA, like AMD, it's been around since since like any of us were born. I'm sure there's people in here that are older, but most of us in here, I'm pretty sure we weren't even born back in 1973. So, these stocks have had a long time to mature, and the stocks and the company, the underlying company itself has matured as well. So, I think Nvidia's been around for a while too. Yeah, like 90, so about 20, 24 years, 25 years. So, a lot of like Marathon, they've been around since what, like 2012. So, kind of a newish. Gotta be careful. MSTR is leveraged. Is that MicroStrategy with Michael Saylor? Yep. Yeah, this guy's crazy, man. He put so much money into Bitcoin. He's It's going up. It's going up. It's pretty amazing. Look at the PE on the stock. Almost 400. That's insane. But yeah. But like if you want to do like a leverage play, yeah. Like you could definitely do it through like MicroStrategy. I think there are let me see something. Isn't there Bitcoin futures? I'm pretty sure I have Bitcoin futures. If anyone knows a symbol, let me know. But I'll try to find it. Yeah, right here. Yeah. I can buy futures on Bitcoin. Or options futures. Oh boy. we're we're taking leverage to a new level, guys. It's gonna get a little wild now. Probably make a lot of money doing this. Maybe I should do for fun, like I should do like a Bitcoin trade for February. How much are the contracts? Oh boy, they're expensive. Oh, it's not tradable? What is this? Oh, so maybe it's only futures. Huh. Then why did they? Yeah, I'm not gonna pay that for a future. No thanks. It's a little out of my budget. I may go bankrupt if I enter that trade. Yes, Bitcoin halving is coming up. I remember the last halving. I think it was in 2020 or 2019, maybe early 2020. It was during COVID. I remember we had lockdowns when the halving was going on. But Bitcoin typically goes up after the halving. That sucks. I can't buy futures options on Bitcoin. Let me research this a little bit. Maybe there's a different symbol. Maybe it's just Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim may not offer it. Maybe like IBKR. If anyone else has like IBKR or another brokerage, let me know if you can search it up. Maybe. Oh, hold on. No. Wait, did that just pop up? Nope. Maybe this one. Hold on. Is it saying it's not tradable because like the options market is closed, or let's see. Huh. I'm gonna have to do more research on this one. Very cool. Oh man. So did everyone have a good Thanksgiving? Any any trade ideas over the weekend? I think about the stock market even like when I'm not working, or like it's just like I'm addicted to it. It's bad. Yeah. So all I can find for Bitcoin are just futures. That's it. No options on Bitcoin. At least through Thinkorswim. Yeah, so maybe I have to introduce a list of options trades for commodities. So diversify in equities and commodities, because you can make an awful lot of money off of futures options if you bet right. Ooh. And I think they're better than futures, because futures, if you get a big move against you on a futures contract and you don't have a very big account, you can get hurt bad. Especially if the market blows past your stop loss, and that stop loss, all a stop loss really is a market order, and that market order fills you in really low. You can be in a lot of trouble, especially if you don't have a big account. So that's why options. I love options because you can like. Well, you can also lose a lot, like more money than you even have on options if you don't know what you're doing. But buying options, going long on a put or a call, you're really mitigating that risk. You're defining that risk right away, which is great. Yeah, so I use stock charts just for a top down approach. Like yeah, that's how I basically find it. There's other sites. Believe it or not, you have to pay for it. Stock charts I like because it's just easy and it's free. Um, and then as far as like how do I find the stocks? All I do is roll up the sleeves and just go through each stock on a stock screener. So what I do is I look at like the most capitalized stocks on the market. I mainly look at the Nasdaq and New York Stock Exchange. Filter for market cap, so you see Apple's at the top here, and yeah, I just go one by one and look at each one's seasonality. Get a stock for each month, and then from there I'll back test it in Thinkorswim over like a 10-year period and see if you know if the just because like a certain stock's good for a certain month doesn't mean that it's good for an option, right? Like certain stocks are better for trading options with than others, so that's why you have to back test and just make sure that you know you are going to make money if the stock goes in your direction by a certain amount. You can't just run into it blind because you can get hurt if you don't know what you're doing on that front. So I think back testing is like it's like pretty much 80% of the work. I say back testing each year, each month is 80% of the work. Manually back testing too, not using a program and getting a eyeing it. I'm not eyeing it for this. I'm using like real data. Um, and I'd say like the other 15% is like actually finding it through seasonality. Like the other 15% is finding the seasonality for each month and then making sure that the stock is good too, right? Like I don't touch stocks that are, you know, I'm not going to be trading penny stocks is what I'm saying. Or like I'm not even going to touch stuff that's like below 50 billion or below 10 billion because like liquidity issues start to come into play. You get spreads between the bid and ask. It's too much. It's too risky. And also, like I like to pick fundamental companies that are fundamentally strong. Um, because I don't want to go into a stock that's a 30 billion market cap and then some news comes out and it drops 50% because smaller caps tend to drop a lot more than, let's say, Apple. But Apple can drop 50% too. So, but it's less likely. It's all probabilities. This is where, like, the stock market, if you look at it from a top down, like you look at the big picture of the stock market, it's all probabilities. That's all it is. It's probabilities and statistics. And you just got to find those waves, those ebbs and flows in the markets and know how to ride them out and make money. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good approach. I'm sure you could put your own twist on it and make it better or, make it curtail it to your personality. This is just how I do it. Um, there's so many different ways you can attack the stock market and make money. So if someone comes up to me and says, "Hey, I don't agree with what you do here," or, you know, I tell them, yeah, like if you don't agree with me, that's fine. Like do what you want to do. Like I'm not here to force you to do something or tell you that you're wrong or that you're right. Um, I just look at the data. I just look if the data makes sense, if the numbers make sense, then hey, more power to you. Yeah, we are like if you're doing what I'm doing, if you're rolling up the sleeves and putting in the elbow grease, and putting your trades into an Excel sheet and back testing and actually taking your time and being methodical and thinking, having a plan. You have to have a plan. If you have a plan and you want to execute it, back test it first. And then once you back test it, the data is going to tell you if it's going to give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down on it. The numbers don't lie. Thanks, Jason. But yeah, when I posted my AMD video, it didn't really get that many views at first, and then like after a couple weeks, it just took off a little bit, a couple thousand views, and my subscriber count went from like 120 to like I think it's a little over 600 now. Um, and yeah, I it's funny, like I don't want to become some big YouTuber or have like hundreds and thousands of subscribers or even I want to keep this community small, and that's why like I don't even want to like start a Discord or you know start like putting my footprints in other social media like Twitter or wherever else people advertise their strategies. I'd rather just keep it small and just yeah. Plus, I don't even think I will become big because well, it seems like most people want to click on the videos that have like big green titles with big dollar amounts and scammers with their faces on it and telling them, yeah, you can make $10,000 in 30 minutes every morning. Join my educational course or my Discord for $200 a month. It's like those are the people that get all the views on trading YouTube. Seems like it. I think there's a couple other people that aren't scamming that are real too. But they're far and few between for sure. JWN. Can I pop out this chat? There we go. It's sometimes the chat's hard to read because you guys could see it, the little heart icon on the right side. It blocks like part of the message, so like I can't see what you guys are fully writing. But I just popped out the chat, so I should be able to see it now. Yeah, let's look into, what is it, JWN Nordstrom. Is this a clothing company? Yeah. Wow, they took a hit, huh? Whew. Oh, that was short-lived. Holy moly. What is that? 60% up in 90 days, and then back to zero, back to square one in what? Another 10. What is that? Is that actually? Oh no, another 30 days. Wow. Whew. So let's look at the seasonality. So this is a market. Okay, so the market cap is low on this one. All right. So right away, I know liquidity is going to be, when I say liquidity, I mean the bid and ask price can be an issue. So you can see right here, like 39 to sell, 43 to buy. So the spread, it's not horrible. That's not bad. That's not bad. Let me look at it on like a 50. Okay, so yeah, you definitely, like for this, I would definitely be like staying closer to that 50 delta, just to, because you're flying close to the sun already with a stock like this. So I definitely wouldn't mind to go with a in the money call, because you can see delta goes from 54 to 21, and 21 is way too risky. Way too risky, especially if you're putting on a stock for 1 month. All right, now let's look at the seasonality. Oh, shares? Okay. Yeah, so for shares, yeah. Shares, you don't have to worry about half of the stuff I just said. Let me look at the seasonality, though. I'm sure if you're bringing it up, it's a good one for December. 60%. November looks good. November and October. Even November's kind of. I would be looking at the stock if someone put a gun to my head right now and said you have to buy this stock throughout the year of 2024, I'd buy it in July or October. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not saying you can't make money in December. It did have a big sell-off. It looks like volatility's coming in. The volume kicked in right here. It just had earnings, so that's probably why it's going up a little bit. Let's look. Okay, so great earnings. They beat. I don't know what their guidance was. You would have to tell me if you listen to the earnings call. But they beat, so that's a good sign. It could be a good buy for December. It would be a little risky from a numbers standpoint. From statistics, it would be a little bit risky. Looking back, let's look on a monthly just to get a really good top-down view. Okay, so if I were to buy this stock at any given point, I would want to buy it. Somewhere down here, right? Like I would want to buy it somewhere down in this range, right? I want to buy at discount, because just naturally buying at a lower price, you have more upside potential, right? You're not chasing. So if you entered this right now, you're not chasing. So that's a good thing. So yeah. But could be a good stock long. I didn't know that Nordstrom took that big of a hit. I thought they were doing okay, but you got Black Friday. Yeah, so the PE's not bad. This is a good stock. I mean, it's been on a downtrend since what this reminds me of. Let me just see what you said. More like after the earnings in Feb. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, this could be one of those stocks that you play earnings on if you want to put a little bit of money to work, but I think we looked at Target last. Target did great this month. Wow, up 20%. I think Target's also another stock that does well in November. It's funny, like you gotta like be ahead of the curve with stocks, because you would think, oh, I'm gonna buy, you know, I don't know, Target for December because Target does really good during Black Friday. Well, no, Target actually does the best in July. So you got to be careful. Yeah. So, but Target did very well for November, but it sold off a lot. A lot of these stocks have gotten beaten down because like tech just took off. I mean, Target hasn't even recovered from 2023 or 2022 when everything else sold off. So Target's a good buy for long term. They ain't going anywhere unless Amazon eats their lunch over the next, like, with their Whole Foods and robotic grocery store stuff. Right? Is it Whole Foods that they own? I think Amazon owns, but yeah. Yeah, no problem. Um, yeah, like I wouldn't touch this stock for December, just to be honest with you. Although, hey, it's been doing well. Like I'm looking at a 5-year back test. Yeah, it's not 5-year back test. It's been doing well in October. I'm shifting back this one year because it's counting 2023. We don't want 2023 on this data. I mean, October's been doing well, but I like to look at the 20-year back test. The more data, the better. But hey, you never know. I mean, the stock market. I put on trades that do well in the month of, let's say, October 80% of the time, and I lose money. It goes against me. I mean, the stock market is random to a certain point. So it mostly is random, but backtest it and put on risk that you're willing to stomach. That's it. That's all I can advise. And that's not financial advice. That's not advice at all. But you know what I mean. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anyone else. All right, cool. Let's put this here, not there. All right, maybe not. All right. Perfect. All right. So I'm excited to close this. I mean, AMD just did so good this month. No, don't worry, Jason. I don't mind. The rest of the chat's pretty quiet right now, so luckily we're a small group, so I'm able to take on everyone's ideas and thoughts and fully explain myself and answer, and so I don't mind. I ramble on anyways, so I mean, this was just a beautiful trade. I'm really proud of the work I did here for AMD this month. It's a good feeling, especially after a couple rough months. Especially with Apple. I mean, Apple just like kicked me in the teeth, man. It was like a double kick to the teeth actually with Apple. Because I entered this on, I'm sure some of you already know. I'm kind of like dating myself here, but I entered on September 29th, and then it went up. I was in profit, and then it's like, nope, you're gonna lose money this month. It went down by the time I closed the trade on I think the 31st I closed it. and then it ripped right back up after I sold it. I could have left on the Apple trade, entered my AMD trade, and then sold my Apple trade after a few days for like at least break even. I could have made probably good money after selling still, but gotta stick to your plan. Yep, no problem, Raul. Glad you're enjoying it. Um, but yeah, that's just like that's how the stock market is, right? Like it plays you, it fakes you out, and it's like I should have held. I remember when I used to like scalp and day trade. It was always like I'd buy. Let's say I entered a day trade or scalp. I'd enter, go up, 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 and then like you know it'd sell a little bit, or I would just hold it, saying, "Oh yeah, it's gonna go higher," and then it just completely goes against me, and then then I sell it for a loss, and then it goes back up. It's almost like someone's sitting behind me, like doing the opposite of what I'm doing. That's why I just don't like day trading or scalping. Maybe I'll try it with a very very small amount of money again, but I just don't have enough time. Um, I'm in. I don't want to give away too much of my personal details, but I do like work full time and I go to school, grad school. So um, I'm in a graduate program right now. So and I'm surprised I got into a pretty good university, but I'm not going to say where though. But so I'm like juggling, and I have family and friends and girlfriends, so I'm juggling like three, four other things on the side, and then I'm doing YouTube too for fun. I just do this for fun. So I'm always like busy doing stuff. I like to stay busy. Oh man. So is anyone going on vacations for the winter? Any Christmas vacations, or I'm sure some of you were traveling for Thanksgiving. Heard the traffic was horrendous. I live in the New York City area, so every year it's like the traffic's insane. But I didn't go anywhere. Hung out. I was in Toronto last weekend though, but it was a quick trip. It was like a weekend trip. Pretty cool little city. So gotta enjoy some of the money you make, and that's the other thing with like once you do trading for a while and you're making good money and your account's growing, and you know let's say you're making $4,000 or $5,000 in a month, right? It's like, and you do that like back to back to back, like take some of that money and make it real. Take some of it out of your account and enjoy it. Because you kind of after a while, like this is how I've felt about trading, it turns into like a video game. Like, like if I lost, like, let's say I put on a $5,000 position and I lost all of it, it's like, oh, okay, like, oh well, on to the next month. It's like, it kind of turns it, you kind of like become desensitized to money. So I'm trying to like balance a little bit. So, but try to enjoy your money a little bit, or at the very least, take some money off the table and, pay off bills or debt or whatever. You gotta do that. Oh man. Alright. This month kind of went quick. It was a good month though. I'm waiting for, let's see, like October felt like ages when I was in this trade because I was just losing, 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 losing. But when you're winning, I mean, this thing just went straight up. This was just a great trade. It just went straight up and didn't look back. I don't want to jinx it though. And remember what I was saying about the 9 EMA? If anyone remembers, or if anyone was in any of my other live streams, look what happened here with the 9 EMA. You wicked right to it and bounced. So, that 9 EMA, it can be helpful sometimes. It usually acts as support, but not all the time. But whenever I see price approach the 9 EMA, I'm looking to see if it's going to find support. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's, obviously technical analysis can only do you so much good. It's just technical analysis. Moving average, it's just a moving average. That's all it is. I like to stick with the data, the actual data. So. And yeah, I guess I can give you guys a little bit of free information. I've had other people ask me if they could, if they can get access to my spreadsheet that I created. I don't really want to share that because I put like months of work into it, literally months of work. I spent like an entire summer every night just like working on this, like back testing, logging, and everything, getting all the formulas in check. Um, and obviously, like it took me months because not only was I back testing stuff that worked, but I had to sift through a lot of the bull crap basically. So I had to do a lot of filtering and process of elimination over a long period, decent period of time. So I don't want to like give that stuff away, nor do I really want to sell it. Like I said, I don't want to like make money off of you guys. If I do make money off of you guys, it's going to be from YouTube monetization, which obviously that's not going to come out of your pockets. It's from YouTube. But yeah, I would like to do a Discord. I'd really like to do a Discord because it's a lot easier to just answer questions and like up to date and just like, and also you guys can also talk to each other, right? So, because I remember being in a couple trading chats and you learn so much from talking to other traders. You learn just as much as not talking to people in the industry, or not really the industry, but in the trades. So, I got to figure something out. I mean, my fear is I like the Discord is going to become too big and overwhelming to manage, and scammers are going to come in, bots are going to come in, and it's like, all right, well, the only thing I can do here now is like charge people, put up a paywall to get rid of all the scammers and bots and the people that aren't serious. There's a lot of trolls out there too. So I really don't want to take like anything. I'd rather you guys save your money and put it towards a trading account or essentials, gas, food. So it's rough out there right now. I know. I'm young, but I understand. I'm in my late 20s, but I understand that it's kind of rough out there. So. But if I were to like put up a paywall on a Discord, it would be like $5 a month. I don't even know. Like it would just be enough to keep the people who aren't serious out. You know what I mean? That's about it. Like it's not even to make money, but I'm gonna sit on it for a while and see. But I don't want to be like the rest. I don't want to be like everyone else who charges for courses and discords. I can't believe people get away with that stuff. It's like getting away with murder. In my opinion, it's like insane. And a lot of those guys, a lot of the scammers and fake gurus. I mean, they got lawsuits coming their way. You know, karma comes back to get you. So, nah, no, Alex, nah. I'm just another guy out here. But thanks, man. Yeah, no, I'm just showing. I'm just being transparent and honest. I think, uh, I think being transparent and honest and actually caring and not trying to make a quick buck off of people online will bring me a lot further than any amount of money. You know, at least I could sleep easy at night. You know, I don't have to be looking behind my back. I should do like a example right now of like a good trade or like a good. Let's try to find. You know what we should do? We should try to find a good January trade right now. I already have one, but let's try to find another one. So we're gonna do a live stream analysis. Well, that's the title of this stream, but let's do some work. So, think of one. Think of one. Honeywell. Let's see what Honeywell's doing. Boom, right there. 75% December. Now November's a little bit better, but 75% is still a good option. No pun intended. So let's go to the next step. All right, so I know Honeywell is a well-established company, just a touch under $200 billion in market cap. It does well in December. It does well in October, November, and December. Let's throw it up on TradingView just to get a look at the monthly chart. I always like to get a nice wide view of just what the stock's been doing. All right, so we're not hitting all-time highs. We're not hitting we're not hitting local lows, and we're not hitting all-time highs. All right, so November seasonality playing out this month. I think a lot of the stocks are doing good this month for November. So right away, Honeywell's up 6% for November. Good. All right, so we know that November, 80% of the time it goes up. It's doing good. So now let's look at December. I like to look at recent years, but like you can see, December last year didn't do too well. December 21, kinda 3%. All right. What is this? A $200 stock? 193. All right. So the options shouldn't be outrageous. 4.31. So now the next step, I want to see like what are the contracts looking like? So let's put in Honeywell. Implied volatility is nice and low. And I just know that usually when IV is below like 30 and when it's definitely below 20, I know that's low. And if I really want to check to make sure it's low, I can go to the charts and look. You can see, look at implied volatility. It's all the way down here at 16. Right? So that means that right now the contracts on Honeywell are cheaper, historically cheaper. I could look at it on a 3-year weekly chart, so we could look at it an even wider view. Yeah, look at this. Implied volatility is so low. So this chart goes from, what, 2021 to now, so about a 2-year look back. Look how low it is. So very low IV. So these contracts are cheap right now, very cheap. Another thing I like right away, look at the bid and ask. Buy for $460, sell $440. So not a bad spread. Bid and ask spread is nice. Got to be careful. I may curse by mistake. All right. So let's look at. Just like to look at the charts. I just like to look at the monthly. Just looking at the percentage gain. So Honeywell hasn't been doing well in December recently. I just noticed that right away. So if I bring down this this little slider, I just like, yeah. So like recently it has been doing well. But let's take 2021 as an example. We're going to cherry pick. I just want to see, because the IV is low, I want to see what a 3.1% gain underlying can do for a Honeywell call option contract. I'm going to show you guys the power of low IV right now. Because when IV is that low, you don't need much of a gain on the underlying to make money. Especially when IV goes up. Once you're in, once you enter the trade, and then it goes up. Once the IV goes up, it just adds on to your profits. So we're gonna go to November 30th, 2021. Last 5 minutes of the day. Yeah, it's funny that you said Netflix. Netflix is my January trade. So, yeah, I think I mentioned that in the live stream, but or previous live streams, but good call. Yeah, Netflix is a good one. I have looked at Google too. We can look at Google right after Honeywell. I just want to show you guys a low IV stock. So we're on the last day, November 30th, last 5 minutes of the trading session. I'm going to be looking at the 52 DTE. I don't go below 45. And, all right. So here's a little conundrum. Whoa, what's going on with these spreads? Were the spreads not good for 2021? Uh-oh. Those are big spreads, but let's just go for it. You know what? No, we're gonna go with the 38 delta. 3%. So this is probably not going to be in the money, because 3% on 200 is six points. So we're going to be halfway on this contract. So let's see. We'll just enter it and go forward. But we probably won't lose a lot of money on this though. We may even be at break even. So let's see. Now we're going to December 31st, last 5 minutes of the day. Yeah, we can look at SYK. Is that Striker? I think that's Striker. Negative 36%. There you go. There's a loser. So, Honeywell, and where was IV when we first started? Hold up. Let me go back to the 30th. Yeah, we can take a look at that too. So IV went down. So IV was at 22% when we entered, and then and then when we went to the end of December, IV went to 15. So that's IV crush right there. Even though we went up. So that's why you gotta be careful with IV. So this would have been a loser. And then I would just do the same thing for each year going back. But the one thing that sticks out to me on Honeywell is I like to look at the stocks like recently, like a 5-year, and just kind of take a slider. You could see like December, 40%, 40%, 40%, 20%. So recently, basically since like 2013, 2014, Honeywell's just been not doing well in December. November, though, it's been doing really well. Really, really well in November. Even at a shorter time span. So that's why you need to like take this slider and kind of move it around, just play around with it and see, is seasonality consistently playing out over time. So, All right, let's look at. So I already know Netflix is good. We'll take a look at Google. Actually, let me make sure Google's not on my list. It's not. All right, I used to have it on it, but I took it off because I found something better. Secret sauce. Google. These are Class A shares. Google for January. All right, so right away on the. Can we look at? Yeah, we can look at this. All right, so January on a 20-year, 20-year, 74% looks good. Just take the slider and kind of reduce it just to make sure that January consistently stays high. It is. It's actually going higher in recent times, so that's good. Okay, so the past couple, like 2022, it's kind of gone down. But yeah, Google's really good for January. I do have Google on my watch list here. Of course, we know Google's a top dog, 1.72 trillion, which is crazy to say. That's an insane amount of money in one stock, but we know Google historically has been going up, or at least I know. And then the last thing I do is I look at Google, and we'll go to, we'll start it right here. So 2021, December 2021, the 31st, last 5 minutes of the day. I think Google has a little bit. So like, I know I said that I like to go with the low IV stuff. But like AMD, I think when I entered it was like 30% IV. I don't mind going with a slightly higher IV if I know it's like a tech stock, like a big cap tech stock, right? Like AMD, NVDA, Google, Microsoft, like anything like that, I'm comfortable with. It's just like the $50 billion market cap stocks that have like a 50 IV. It's like, okay, like this thing needs to move up a lot for me to make money. So like I got to be careful. But that's why I like to stick with the big dogs, because they usually present more opportunity. There's a lot more money flowing in and out of those stocks. So, all right, so we're going to buy. What's going on with my deltas here? Oh, this was before Google split its stock. I forgot. Yeah, Google used to be like $2,900 a share. Woo. What was their split? Now I'm interested. 20-1 split. Holy moly. I forgot about that. That was so long ago. Alright, so let's go with a bigger strike range. Again, I'm gonna go with the 45 delta. Just a cool $8,000 trade. Fake trade, of course, but that's a lot. Enter that. We got to fill for 79, so it filled at the market price. Okay, that's fine. Let's fast forward to the end of January. Last 5 minutes and see what the results are. I don't know if January 22 was a good month, because that was like right when the stock market started to dip. So we probably lost money on this position. Right? January 22? Yeah, we lost money on this one. You can see the P&L right here at the bottom. That sucks. But we can go back. Let's try 21. We'll reset the balance here. We'll try for 2021. January 2021. Again, we're going to enter on the 45. Fast forward, January 2021. And again, like I'll just do this for each month going back. Now, Google only went up 4%, so this is probably going to be a loser as well, because it was low. High IV too. Okay. We did good. Nice. 58% on that contract. So, not bad. Yeah, right. That's the thing with options, man. Like, what you put into the trade, like, be ready to lose 100% of that. Like, so if let's say you have $1,000 account and you're putting $1,000 into the trade, well, you're risking 100% of your account. Like, be ready to lose all that. So, So Google's looking good there. We could test it again. Let's go one more year. We'll test 2020. I'll reset this. We'll go with the 52 DTE. We'll enter the 46 delta. Oh, there's 45. There we go. Fast forward. End of January. Let's see what we got. Now, I haven't really mentioned this. I should. 182% gain. Not bad. So, yeah, there's definitely edge in Google. There you go. There's better edge in Netflix, though. Netflix, I know, is better because I actually backtested that and implemented it. So, Netflix is better, but Google's good too. Google's definitely good. And now Google had a stock split, so it's affordable now. So, a lot of people could participate in that one. I think Netflix is more expensive than Google. What was I going to say? I forgot. I was rambling on and I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So I know I enter on the last day of the month and then close on the last day of the month. For December, I may enter my trade. So let's look at a calendar here just so we can visualize this. So I'm going to be entering right on the 30th, LLY. I'm going to hold that for the month, and then I'm going to sell it on the 29th. Right? I think, or whatever the day the stock market may be closed. I have to look at the holidays and make sure. I think it's open on the 29th. I'm going to close on that day. Here's the thing. For tax purposes, I want to close out my books completely for the year. I don't want to have a trade rolling into the new year, the new tax year, right? So now I know this because I'm going for my CPA right now, so I'm kind of into the whole tax and tax strategy type of thing too. That's like another hidden skill set I have, or that I'm trying to build up a little bit. But I want to close out 2023 with no open positions, right? So I'm going to close on the last day on December, and instead of entering, because I'm going to be going into Netflix for January, instead of entering Netflix on the 29th, I may enter it on like the first trading day of 2024. So that's one thing I haven't really discussed with you guys yet, but I definitely will explain that when the time comes over the next month. Not to confuse anyone, but it's just personal preference. I'm sure you can enter, and I could enter on the same day. I can enter on December 29th and be fine. But it's just, that's how I want to close out my books. I don't want to have any open positions going into the next year. It simplifies things on my end. But there's nothing wrong with buying and holding into the new year. But yeah, it just keeps my books cleaner. All right, let's look at Psych. Sorry, nothing. I'm sure you were waiting, but let's look at Striker. Wait, was that the wrong symbol? Whoopsie. Oh no, it's there. Psych. Why didn't it pop up here? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So first thing right away, Striker, big company. I already know that. 111 billion market cap. I'm comfortable with that right away. We're looking at it on the monthly chart here. Looks good. Nice, strong moves to the upside. Nice. I mean, this is what a fundamentally strong company looks like on a stock chart. Nice and strong move to the upside over long periods of time. So right away, I know that going long, I'm putting probability in my favor. All right, let's look at the seasonality. If I could type, there we go. Yeah, man. Yeah. December looks good. Now, again, what is Striker? Striker's it's in the healthcare space. I just know that health technology. They build like beds and stuff, I think, like medical equipment for hospitals. So, again, like the pharmaceuticals, the healthcare companies, Eli Lilly, United Healthcare, Striker, it's seasonally, those stocks are strong. You're going to be hearing about him on the news over the next month. And if you're going to be in the trade, you'll be ahead of the herd, except for the smart money. The smart money's already in. They actually, what the smart money will do is they'll enter back in like July when the stock's getting hammered, and they'll buy shares and hold it for the rest of the year. That's what the real smart money does. But I'm an options trader, so I like to be in and out within 30 days, right? I'm more dynamic. That's just the power of seasonality. So it's awesome. All right. Let's look at so we're looking at it on the virtual account right now. We'll take a random year. Let's go to like 2018. Right, and we're doing this. Are we doing this for December? Or are we doing this for January? Nothing. We could do it for January too. January is a good month for Striker. Look at that, 3.2% for December and January average gain. But we could, let's just, I kind of want to look at it for December. December hasn't come yet, so let's look at December, because this could be a good opportunity if you're interested in it. Options chain is a little light. There's only so many contracts, no weeklies on Striker. All right, let's look at, what did I say, 2018? Let's go to November 30th. Yeah, let's do December. Yeah. We'll go to the last 5 minutes. Let's go to November 2018. I'm just going to pick a random year. One thing I forgot to do is just kind of take this slider and just look at it over different periods of time. Look at that. Beautiful stock. It's consistent. It's consistent in December. That's really good. That's a good sign. When I do this, and I'm just looking at December. I'm looking at the December bar. And I'm taking the slider, and I just keep seeing that bar say at 85, 80%, 85. That's a good sign right off the bat. So it's checking the boxes right now. All right. So we just took an example from 2018. Let's go to the 49 DTE. So in this case, I'm going to go with the 53 delta. Right. 36, maybe 36 delta is a little too far for me. So we're going to be just outside of the money. We're actually technically in the money because the stock is going to be at 175 here. So let's buy. Oh yeah, spreads look good. $30 spread. That's about right. And also implied volatility. Look at that, 18%. So let's enter that. Beautiful. Go to the end of the month. Let's see. Watch, I picked the 1 year it lost, probably. That's my luck. Yep, I did. All right, 98% down. All right, let's go to the next year. We'll test it for 2019. I'll reset the account here. Wouldn't this be nice if we had this reset button for like real money, right? That'd be nice. Okay. All right, I'm going to go with the 38 for this one. And I'm just buying one contract. I'm just looking at the percentage gain. So let's go to the end of December. Let's see. I may have to look at Striker again. I could probably incorporate this one. Down 8%. All right. I wonder how much it does move up in December. Because just because you have a high win rate doesn't mean that you're going to make money. Because you could have a 1% gain for December. 4%. What year am I on right now? 2019. Let's just look at the charts. 2019. Nope. Yeah, so 2.76% gain. Not enough. Not enough for Striker to make money. But you're only down 4%, so you didn't lose all your money on this trade. So you're pretty much flat. But we can go to the next month. I'm sure Striker did good during COVID, so well, I don't want to laugh at that. That's a little immoral, but yeah, they probably made money during COVID because hospitals were under demand. Let's go to 46. I'll go with the 41 delta. Big, a little bit bigger of a spread here. 80%, or not 80%, 80 points, $80 spread. Not bad though. Okay, let's go to the end of December. Let's see. Did I buy the right contract? Uh-oh. 48% gain. Nice. And what was the gain in 2020 for December? 5%. Let's try to find a big one. Here we go. Let's go to 21. This is going to be a good one. Because I think it was like 13%. We'll probably make like 100% on this contract. Yeah, December 21. Let's do it. It's fun doing this. It's like it's like finding the magic money. It's doing the back testing. Back testing is my favorite. It's very boring and mundane, but like it's so important. And when you find something that's really good, you know, you get really excited once you put real money in play. All right, 47 delta, going with that. This is a little bit more expensive. $130 spread. A little aggressive of a spread. I think that's why I definitely back tested Striker, because I saw this in my research on Striker, how much it went up in December. But this was the problem right here. Look at the spread. If I bought, like, I'm going to be buying this, right, for $930. And if I wanted to turn around and sell it right away, I can only get $8. So right away, I'm down $130 on the trade, which is a problem. It's not good. So, especially when you have size too, if you're putting a lot of money to play, you know, that's nearly 10% of the trade gone just to bid and ask. So let's buy it. But we had a big gain on this month, so you'll still make money. Fast forward. I think the implied volatility was higher. Nice gain. 229%. Was the IV higher? Was IVF 24% here? Yeah, so this options chain, like, look at the spread now. So, like, if I go to sell, like, this market price of $28.50, you got to be careful with that because, look, $30 to buy, 26 to sell. That's a huge spread. So you have bid-ask spread risk in the trade. So still would have made money off of this though. It wouldn't be 228%. It would be a little bit lower than that. It'd be $26. So it'd probably be like I don't know, 180%, maybe 200% trade. Still would have been good, but yeah, that's probably why I omitted Striker, because this is like a perfect example of spread risk. Like, you got to understand how bid and ask works, because if you don't, you know, you could be setting yourself up for failure. So I typically, okay, I would go back as far as I could, but Thinkorswim, the data, they don't have data like for certain securities past like 2010. So I could probably, on certain securities, I could do like a 13-year back test on real options data. So yeah. But if I know that the options data is good for like a 10-year period, let's say, and then I'm looking at the seasonality charts and I know that it's good for 20 years, so and for the past 10 years it's been doing well on the options, I feel comfortable enough with that. I've yet to find another platform that can let you backtest with real options data further back. I just don't think there's like the technology for that, or any retail type of website that has that kind of data. If you guys know any, let me know. But But yeah, because like you got to be careful with options. Like you're playing with IV and theta. There's a couple things playing against you, um, compared to like trading just shares or trading futures, let's say. So yeah, I typically like to do like a 10-year backtest. So yeah, that's why Striker I don't touch because the spread no good. Good stock though. You could still make money off of it, but like LLY, the like if I just look at like LLY for December right now, let this generate. I should really just go back to my real account just so we get real data up to date. Look at the spread. It's $30. Like a $30 spread is like about normal. And this is a $30 spread on a $2,000 contract. I've seen $30 spreads on contracts that are like $100, right? Like you buy it for 100 and you can only sell for 70. So it's all percentage. So that's why you got to look at multiple things. You got to look at IV, theta, duration, the bid and ask spread. You got to look at multiple things to make sure that you're on the right side. Hey Ray, Razor, thanks for watching, man. Glad you enjoy all the content. I'm gonna be releasing a couple videos this week. Closing out the AMD trade, entering LLY. So, just doing some analysis here on live, and yeah. So, glad you're enjoying it, man. But yeah, like LLY, beautiful. 30-point spread. And like AMD, let's look at AMD. Now, typically as you go more deeper in the money, the spread naturally becomes bigger, but you shouldn't see a big spread at the money or slightly out of the money. Like you could see AMD has like a $10 spread, $10 spread, right? 445 minus 435 is $10, right? So, and usually the spread becomes wider as you go deeper in the money. So like let's look at like where my contract is right now. You can see the spread is $25 now. So, naturally as you go deeper in the money, the spread widens. That's why people like to do debit spreads. A debit spread, you're making money as it goes deeper in the money. You're making money off that spread widening. And with the credit spread, you're making money as the, position, the spreads become closer together. And they usually do that towards expiry. So, yeah, so I've looked at ThinkBack. I haven't really messed with it too much. I like to just trade annually. Maybe I'll have to look at it more. Um, but yeah, I know you can use that too, but I like to use odd and demand. It's accurate. I think they're both accurate. I also like to manually test too because I see things that you wouldn't see on ThinkBack. So like I could look at like what the IV is doing over time and see if like the bid and ask is a problem, like I saw with Striker. Um, I like to see every single trade that I put in. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm just a little bit more like vigilant. Um, but I think it makes for a better, more accurate back test in my opinion. But ThinkBack may work. Um, so yeah, like AMD, no problem with the bid ask. LLY, same thing. Yeah, I think ThinkBack is under, yeah, here, analyze. Let's put like AMD in. Okay, that's nice though. I kind of like this because it shows the IV back trades. So maybe I should test this out. It's a cool little. I'll have to look into this a little bit more. I just always use on demand because I just like to click the buttons and see what the trade's doing. But maybe I'll look at this because this could speed up my analysis for sure. But thanks for showing me, or thanks for letting me know. I should do like I kind of did a video on demand, how on demand works. I have that video posted. But if I find some worthwhile tools within ThinkBack, I will definitely share it. I'm always open to new ideas, and I'm not stubborn. So oh, is it? All right, so yeah, I'll definitely take a look at it. I'll definitely take a look at it on my own time, and yeah, I can already tell right away using it or looking at it. It's showing like IV from like on demand doesn't show this, so. But I think both are accurate in terms of pricing. So yeah, I definitely will. So so yeah. All right. I'm gonna be hopping off here in a couple minutes, but I'm just gonna give you guys the rundown for this week. So I'm still in my AMD trade. We're up 300% flat right now. 300% profit. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 trading days left. I'm going to be closing on the 30th, and then we're going to open up Eli Lilly on the same day. So right here. And Eli Lilly I will hold until Friday, December 29th. So hoping for the best with Eli Lilly. Seems to be holding up. Seems to be holding an uptrend here, making higher lows. So that's a good sign. And yeah, and hopefully AMD doesn't go back to like $100 in the next 4 days. I would be very upset about that. It'd kind of be a kick in the teeth. But I think AMD will close out for a nice profit, and yeah, we'll sail away into the sunset. So. Any other questions? Let me know. If not, we'll always hit up my comments on my videos. I try to answer back with everyone. And yeah, I'll be posting a video probably Tuesday explaining LLY, and then I'll be posting another video on the 30th after I do my trading, and I'll show you guys my official profit for my realized gain, not unrealized, but my realized gain for AMD. And then show you guys what I officially entered for LLY. I'm yet to really trade live yet. I'm kind of waiting on that. The only problem is I work during the day, so it's kind of like hard to stream and work at the same time. It's very distracting to do both. I'm good at multitasking, but not good enough to stream and work. So yeah, hopefully I can get a video up, or hopefully I can get a live stream of me trading live. I just don't want any personal information being released potentially, because I'm showing real accounts and stuff here. So, and yeah. So yeah, no problem, Alex, and everyone else. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a nice night, and get ready for the next week. We got a new week tomorrow starting, so hopefully everything goes good. And yeah, so thanks everyone for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.